I almost didn't film this. February made me question whether I should even keep doing this challenge. 2 rounds only, an 84 and a 98. One of them had a hole out eagle, and somehow I still walked away doubting everything. This is the part people don't see. I'm not training full time. I don't get 4 practice sessions a week. I don't have unlimited time. I have work, I have family, I have responsibilities. Golf unfortunately gets what's left, especially this time of the year. And in February, what was left wasn't much. The courses were wet, heavy, playing long, but the real issue wasn't conditions. It was inconsistency and lack of practice. First round, the 84 should have felt amazing after the January round. I broke 90 again, and during that round, I holed out for eagle on a par 5. Third shot, in, ball disappears. It's one of those moments you replay in your head. That round triggered £100 for breaking 90 and also £50 for the eagle. So £150 from one day in the investments. By the rules, that's a success. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even during that 84, I didn't feel in control. I felt fragile, like I was holding it together rather than owning it. A couple of loose swings, a few holes that could easily have become doubles. The eagle masked that a little bit. It made the round look more convincing than it felt. Then came the 98. This was not a handicap score, so there was no pressure. But no eagle, no highlight, just lots of small mistakes stacking up. One birdie for £25 invested. But overall, just undisciplined golf. I even lost my phone on the third tee box and realized 2 holes later. So when you only play twice in a month, there's no rhythm to fall back on. And that's the amateur struggle. You don't get enough reps to smooth out the volatility, get with the flow. So one week you're shooting 84 with an eagle, and the next you're 14 shots worse. After the 98, I genuinely thought, why am I even doing this publicly? Am I really a single digit handicap golfer? Why am I tracking every score? What's the point? Every pound, every decision. It would be easier to just play when I can and not measure it. The point of this challenge is discipline, to treat improvement like something deliberate, even when life makes it inconvenient. Performance wise, it's very unstable. Now let's break down the budget spend for February. Thankfully, that looks better than my goal from the course. So in early March, I actually received the final 2026 membership for my golf course. And unfortunately, it's raised by £150. So we are now looking at 2,500. So broken down per month, that comes down to £208. So we are on track. This is going to be the main focus for the whole year, and that's going to be the cost spread out over 12 months. Annual range access, I have not yet paid that. I suspect is going to be remaining the same at about £175. I'm also amortizing that on a 12-month basis. We'll see. But on top of that, I've actually went for a trackman session this year, and that cost me a total of £14 at the local range. So a little bit over budget here, but we'll see how it goes. In terms of golf clubs, nothing special there. No golf ball purchase either, and no lessons purchase either. I think this is where I will probably need to start spending a bit of money if I want to get back on track during March and April. In terms of clothes, I've actually spent £60 for a new pair of shoes, so that was in my budget. I actually managed to get 40% off for a sale at my golf club, so that was very nice. I bought a nice pair of Skechers. Will be ready for the summer. Equipment, I had £10 forecasted but did not spend anything. Same for green fees or golf trips, still nothing done. Now, in terms of tournament fees, actually got £5 spent on a tournament fee. Paid the fee for Scratch Cup that is happening at my club during the summer. So I've already paid that fee. So it's come out of the budget. Now, where I probably splurge a little bit is in the food and beverage So I mentioned in a past video that if you join a golf club, it is very likely that your food and beverage spend will increase. And I think there is no exception here. So I forecasted nothing because it's February and you don't play too much golf. I did spend about £26, drinks and food at the clubhouse. As far as the miscellaneous go, this is part of the food and beverage budget, really. And an extra £20 to buy some tickets for the weekly raffle, chance to win some very nice prize, include a 50% on my annual membership. Unfortunately, I didn't win it. I have to think if I go forward, because that £20 per week for a raffle might drain my budget. So for the month of February, in the end, in total, I have spent £348. Now, this is above my budget, mainly because of the shoes, food and beverage spend, but normally it should even out throughout the year. When it comes down to income, I think this is where there's been a nice surprise. And even though obviously my goal has been terrible, so I haven't won anything as far as tournament gains, but for my full month being monetized on YouTube, I've actually managed to earn £54.15. So this is a very nice addition because I did not budget any income to come before the middle of the year. So that's a very nice surprise. Otherwise, I haven't sold any club or got anything else. So the total income is £54 for a total spend net of £294. So for the year, we are still tracking relatively well and we should be okay. I think for March, numbers should look about the same, but I will maybe try and get some lessons so I am ready for the season when it comes. So I did have one birdie and one eagle in February. I did mention that if I managed to break 90, I would add an extra £100 to my investment portfolio, which I did. So in total, I invested £175. But if I'm honest, practice felt squeezed in this month. Between work, around family, the real struggle improving at golf as an adult is harder than people want to admit. You care deeply, but you can't really structure your life around it. You get just enough success to believe you can be better. That's what keeps you coming back. But then just enough inconsistency to doubt it. February was that tension for me. An 84 with an eagle and still walking away unsure. But I'm not quitting. March needs clarity, but I can already tell you that it has not started very well. So it might be time for me to spend some of my budget on lessons instead of pretending I can self-correct everything. February wasn't a failure, but it exposed something. Talent isn't the issue, consistency is. And consistency is hard when life is full. That's the real challenge here. Not breaking 90, not breaking 80, but staying committed when it would be easier to just drift and give up. See you in April for the March update.